Sitting here reminds Yusra of the most desperate time of her life when she spent a week sleeping in this square. Almost a decade ago, when she was 17, she escaped Syria's civil war and made it to Budapest. But Hungary was closing its borders and closing in on her.
I remember this area being surrounded by police and they did not treat us very well.
These few photographs are all that Yusra has of her childhood in Damascus. Her home and the pool where she was training to be a competitive swimmer were destroyed.
So when we were walking outside, the glass of the hotel or exploded. And I remember getting to the car and my mom asking, "Are you okay?" And I was just like in such a shock that I could not speak back to her. It was really as if it was like a movie scene. The car was like, my mom was driving so fast and then the missiles were hitting behind.
What happened next is so extraordinary, it has been dramatised in a film. She and her sister Zara gave all they had to people smugglers to cross from Turkey to Greece. Their boat was sinking, so the sisters swam, dragging the dinghy for hours until all 20 refugees were safely on land.
So the dinghy journey was the most difficult part of the whole journey, in my opinion. It's you get on an overcrowded dinghy where it's a very small boat, rubber boat, where I think like maximum it should be for like 5-6 people, and we were 20 people on the boat, 18 to 20, and we had one child that was 6 years old, and 90% of the people on the boat don't know how to swim. So my sister and I were swimmers, and everyone knew that we were swimmers. So a few minutes, or I would say like maybe 15-16 minutes after we got on the boat, we realized that there was a rip in the boat. It was ripped before and they fixed it. Maybe if I was prepared for it as an Olympic race or whatever, that would have been not insanely crazy. But you were on an island, on a deserted island, for 4 days before that. You had no access to food, you didn't have access to water, no bathrooms, you were barely sleeping because you're not the only one on the island. There were thousands of people on the island. You're already exhausted, you're already terrified, you're already don't know what's gonna happen. Then you get on that dinghy and somehow your body needs to push to its limit, and then your mind has to be very, very strong. I was trying to look at the child on the boat and be as happy as I can, because I want him not to think about, that we are in trouble. It's just about like fighting to stay alive.
They then spent 25 days making the treacherous journey to Germany, where they settled. She went on to compete in Rio and Tokyo for the refugee Olympic team.
I did not expect to participate at the Olympics a year after fleeing my country, and I felt that my dream is so far away. When the war started and everything happened, literally the moment I walked out in the opening ceremony, the joy I felt and the pride I felt being who I am, and knowing that this team represented so much hope for so many people around the world, and knowing that each one of them had very difficult stories. They had to overcome insane odds, but they were there. They were still dreaming. They were ready for the next challenge, and they had the biggest smiles on their faces, saying, "Hey, I can help, I can give back." And I was like, okay, so can I. So it was just a really incredible moment of realization that maybe my goal shouldn't be the gold medal, but my goal should be giving hope to people to pursue their dreams no matter what happens.
She has returned to Hungary to watch the World Swimming Championships, and only discovered that President Assad had finally been ousted when she stepped off the plane.
Just seeing how many people lost their lives, they were killed just because they asked for freedom. A lot of memories are coming back to me, a lot of pain. I just think Syrians deserve to live at peace. They deserve to have a normal life, because since I was born, I don't think I've ever been free. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to say exactly what I wanted until this moment.
How hopeful are you for the future of your country?
My country and its people, we will find a way to have peace again. I just think Syrians deserve to live at peace. They deserve to have a normal life, because since I was born, I don't think I've ever been free. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to say exactly what I wanted until this moment.
She is contemplating eventually moving back to Syria and one day starting her own family there. She says it has always been where her heart belongs.